Your customer order documents are used to communicate and establish agreements between you and your customers. So while we're on a job and looking at the budget, you'll see that all my quantities, the costs of the project, as well as the price I'm going to charge the customer for the project are all completed in my budget. So at this point, I'm ready to then send out a customer order to my customer. So I will click plus document. And then I have the option to choose the customer order type I'd like to use. Now, in this case, we're going to use our proposal to send this to the customer and get their signature. And now the system's asking, which items from your budget do you want to include on this document? So I could always choose to leave off one or a couple items, or in this case, I'm going to keep them all. I also have the option to choose how my items are organized on my proposal by clicking this drop-down menu here. Right now, they are going to be organized by the cost groups that I established, but I could choose to organize them by cost code or by cost type. Any way that you choose to organize them on this menu is going to carry over to the document itself. We'll leave it as cost group. Now we'll click Create. Here I have a draft proposal. Now everything on this proposal is click to edit. I could also enter in the full scope of work here. So we're going to do a full kitchen remodel with replacing all plumbing and electrical. Great. Now I also have some additional little icons throughout the document that I can use to show or hide different parts of the document. The first icon we're going to see up top allows us to set the dates manually, your issued date and your expiration date for the document. Furthermore, down below, you'll notice that I have a little picture icon here. That allows me to hide all the files that are attached to line items. So these files, for example, so I can hide those or show them. I also can choose to hide the quantity and unit price on each of my line items. And I could even choose to hide all the totals altogether. So let's do that. And now you'll see that I have a lump sum at the bottom. Maybe we want to get a little bit more specific with what we're showing or hiding for the customer. So each group header gives you additional visibility options. So I can click this little eyeball here and it's going to hide all the sub-items for each of the groups. Or I could also just hide the sub-item totals and leave the detail, but also not give too much pricing detail to the customer. Furthermore, I can choose to add descriptions and change the names on any of these groups or items to get the right information in my customer's hands. So I can click on the pre-construction group header, and here I could add my full scope of work for pre-construction. I also could upload any files, photos, and videos for this group as a whole, and I can do the same for each individual item. And this is only going to be informing this document. It will not impact your internal budget. Let's say that we want to edit several of these item names and descriptions. So I would encourage you to go behind the scenes of the document to make those edits all together. So in order to do so, we're going to click Edit Item Details on the bottom. This again will go behind the scenes of your document, and now you can change all the names nice and quickly. You can also add all your descriptions really easily. And once you're ready, you can go ahead and go back to the front of your document and you will see your changes reflected. Additionally, when we scroll down, we have our terms and conditions or our contract language that were saved in our templates. And then we also have our signature section. Let's go up to the settings. Here on the right-hand side, you'll notice that I have my subject. My subject is going to accompany the name of the document. So Proposal 56-4 may need additional context for my customer. Maybe I'm sending two different proposals to my customer. One of them is replacing all the cast iron plumbing. The other one may not be. So I want to send them two separate options, and therefore I can label them differently. Then down below, I also have the option to show cost and fee on the document. And this is especially helpful for the cost plus builders. If you are a cost plus builder, you most likely want to turn this on, and it is going to show the customer the total cost of the project separate from your profits. If you're a fixed price builder, you're most likely going to leave this off. You also have some additional options here, including the choice to show financing. If you turn on show financing, it will show this blue ribbon on your document, and your customer can then apply for financing directly through our partner Acorn Finance. Now, you don't have to pay for this. You really have nothing to do with it. It's strictly between your customer and the lender. So your customer will then receive the funds to then pay you for the project. Here you can upload any files, photos, or videos that are specific to this job. So if I click Upload Files, I then can include maybe a rendering of their dream kitchen. I could also change the name of the file, add a description, and then add file tags. And then also I can choose to copy existing files from anywhere else in JobTread. All right, we'll go ahead and click the Save button, and that will open up our action options up top. So let's click Send. Now I'll have the option to send it to the primary contact on this customer account, but maybe there is another contact saved in the customer account already, so I can go ahead and add them directly to the document as well. I'd like to require a signature from each, and then I can customize my email message before sending it. Let's click Send. Now an email was sent to each of your customers that has your logo, your message, and a button to view the document. When each of them clicks their own link in their email, it will open up the document in their web browser, and they can review the document and each sign it. Now you also have a resend button, so if you need to resend the document to each of your recipients, you can do so. You can also hover over this small icon to see when the email was delivered, when the email was opened, when the document was viewed, and when the document was signed. Down below, you'll also notice that you have an activity feed of all your activity for this document, and you can send messages between you and your customer to communicate about the document. All right, let's pretend that we just went into the document as each of your customers, and we are going to sign it on their behalf. All right, we'll get that approved. Now you'll notice that it is an approved document. At any point, whether the document is pending or approved, you also have the option to make changes. That will revert the document back into a draft mode. You can make your edits and then resend the document for updated signatures to your customer. Let's go ahead and see what happened in our budget now that we have an approved proposal. We'll go to our budget here. And nothing has changed in our estimating section, but when we scroll to the right and we go to the job costing section, you'll now notice that we have an approved budgeted cost for the project, and it was informed by our proposal. Now, if you ever want to change these numbers in the future, you'll want to use another customer order to adjust those numbers. So that could be a selection document, that could also maybe be a change order document, and then these numbers will be adjusted accordingly. If you have any questions, please contact your customer success manager or email support@jobtread.com.